You're sitting at your desk. An email pops up from your boss. It's a single sentence, slightly critical of your latest project. Your heart rate spikes, your palms start to sweat, your chest tightens, and your breathing gets shallow. Look around you. You are sitting in a climate-controlled room on a Tuesday afternoon. There is zero physical danger here, yet your body is preparing to fight a predator. This is an evolutionary mismatch, a structural friction between our ancient biological software and our modern conscious experience. To understand this tension, we must view the brain as a primitive, prediction-based defense system rather than an instrument designed for happiness. For the vast majority of human history, our biological hardware was forged in harsh, unforgiving environments. The engine of this defense mechanism is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, hardwired for constant threat detection. In an ancient tribe, social status meant life or death. If rejected, you died. The ego evolved to prevent that exile. Because the stakes were so high, the brain developed a hyper-reactive defense mechanism. It treats a bruised ego or a perceived slight with the same neurochemical intensity as a physical attack. Modern social anxiety is simply prehistoric survival hardware firing as intended. It is doing its job, but in a safe environment that no longer requires it. The ego operates as a rigid mental model, a piece of biological software running on top of our ancestral hardware. This software is a prediction machine, demanding the world remain consistent with its internal map. It constantly scans for information that confirms its beliefs. When encountering challenging data, it aggressively rejects those inputs to keep the identity intact. The bug in this system appears when the fluid, indifferent reality of the modern world conflicts with the ego's rigid demands. When reality refuses to match the ego's internal map, the HPA axis triggers. The body floods with cortisol to fight a ghost predator, a threat to the story of the self rather than the self itself. This unnecessary physiological activation is what we experience as suffering. It is the visceral sensation of a defense system firing at full capacity when there is nothing left to defend. Mainstream therapy often addresses this friction by focusing on strengthening self-esteem or encouraging us to love ourselves. Reinforcing the boundaries of the ego can actually increase the friction. A more rigid identity demands even more energy to defend, making the biological software more prone to triggering. A more direct solution is disidentification. This involves treating the ego as a modular tool, a piece of software you use, rather than the core operating system of your life. When you feel that tightness in your chest after a critical comment, you can observe it objectively. You recognize the fight or flight response as a temporary neurochemical discharge, rather than an indicator of your reality. By stepping behind the ego, you stop expending energy defending a ghost. You shift from a state of pure survival into a state where flexible, genuine growth is finally possible.